Okay, so once you have built up some trust with someone, what's the next step for you as an evangelizer? Well, the next two thresholds are curiosity and openness. So once you've established a relationship with someone, whether that's in the plane or over a period of time, naturally questions arise. Why does the church believe that? Why do you hold this? Why are you against such and such? In this moment, these questions are not coming from an authentic interest in I want to change my life, but they're just testing the waters. What questions do I have that's going to rile your feathers? What are your answers going to be? Now, our temptation, as Dan had mentioned, might be to completely over-inundate them with the answers to the questions based on the church teachings, the church fathers, and the great wisdom of the church. But if someone is in this stage of conversion, the stage of curiosity, they are just asking questions because they're interested and they have someone who will listen to them. At this point, just listen and ask them questions back. One thing you can veer away from is giving too much information. One time I was talking with someone who was thinking of converting, and they asked a question about artificial contraception. And I took this as an awesome opportunity to go into the full theology of the body. I spent an hour talking with them about the theology of the body. And about midway through, I noticed that they had this glaze over their eyes because they weren't hearing. They had just asked about how this relates to their life. They had not gotten to that point of really taking it in to change their life. They were just asking a simple question, and I did too much. I gave them too much at that point in their spiritual journey. This is something to avoid if someone is in curiosity. But as we continue to walk with them in their journey towards the Lord, answering their questions very briefly or asking questions of their questions like Jesus did, at some point they become more open. And this is the third threshold, openness, where inside they come to some acknowledgement that maybe it is possible to have a relationship with God. Now, they haven't full-fledged gone, yes, I'm totally on board with this whole God thing. They just are acknowledging inside it's a possibility. Now, our job as evangelizers is to ask them, where has God been in this part of your life or in this part of your story? Help them recognize that God is, in fact, present to them. Also, our job is to war with them on the spiritual level, is to pray for them, ask intercession for those people that they can continue on in their stage of conversion. Now, here's an action step that I would like you to do with these two thresholds. Now, these are two passive thresholds. We'll go into active thresholds in the next video. Here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to practice talking about where someone is in their faith with the Lord. Maybe your spouse, maybe a child, maybe a parent. Ask them if they consider God a part of their life, outside of their life, or the center of their life, and see where the conversation goes. We've had someone do this exercise before with their spouse, and they said it was the best conversation they had had in 40 years of marriage, because they really got to know where the other person was in the relationship with the Lord, and they got to share where they saw themselves. And this helps establish, is this person curious? Is this person open to the Lord? Or maybe they are further down the road of discipleship. But we'll talk about the active parts of discipleship, of the thresholds, in the next video.